Hey guys, so welcome to part 2. In this part, it's not going to be as much explaining about what we're going to be making, but more how it's going to work. So, we left off about here in the script. Unfortunately, when I was editing the previous video, I noticed that the mouse doesn't show up when I'm editing unless I select some stuff. So sorry if it doesn't make it too clear, but I'll try to realize that this time. So we checked if there was info in the username and password fields. And sorry, don't know if we went into here, but no, we did. So we're gonna start looking into this script now. So this is a while loop. I'm not going to explain that, but I'm going to explain what it's going to do. It's going to fetch associative row information in the row of login, which was this variable, so the row of the username that was inputted. Now it'll get the password field and put it as a variable called password_db. Now, I didn't show you this. I'll just tell you that the reason we're doing encryption is because when we register the user, we're encrypting the password. And so what we do, so the password stored in the database is encrypted. So, and you can't decrypt, you can only encrypt. So what we're going to be doing is encrypting the password the user inputs now, and then we're going to compare the database password and the password that the user inputted. So if they're the same, if they're not the same, see, because of the exclamation mark, then it's going to echo incorrect password. But if it is the same, then we're going to go else. And now we're going to check if the user has activated the account. So it's going to pull the information for active and also email. So now it's going to check if the active is set to 0, which means that they have not activated their account. And if so, then it's going to echo, you haven't activated an account, please check your email. So it's going to tell them what email it was sent to. Otherwise, if they have activated it, then it's going to create a session that stores the username. Well, the session's going to be called username, and it's going to equal their username. And then it's going to redirect them to userarea.php. Note that even if they go to index.php, they're still going to be forwarded to userarea.php because of the script we put at the top of the page. So I believe that's all for this file. So now let's go into register.php, because if they can't register, that's a problem. So again, it's going to include global.php, and then you'll notice that you see this again. So when we scroll down, we notice that there's a form again. But this time, there's an email field as well, because we need that information. Don't know how far I'll get into this in this segment or part of this the tutorial, but we'll see. I have 3 minutes, so it's going to check if it was submitted. If it was, it's going to get the data in a secure way. This is much more secure. In a secure way for username, password, and email. And now it's going to be checking if the information was inputted for all of these 3. And now it's going to encrypt, and if there was info, it's going to encrypt the password. And it's going to check if the username was already taken, because you don't want people having 2 usernames, because that wouldn't work. This is a double check, just in case. If it's a problem, then it's going to echo username already taken. And otherwise, if everything's going smoothly, it's going to generate a random code in between this number and this number. Sorry. Note that there is a possibility of it generating the same number, but it's very low. You could go in and check if the number's already taken, but we're not going to go into that. I would only do that if you have a lot of users. So now we're going to send the activation email. And we haven't actually submitted the info into the database yet. Sorry, my voice is really bad right now. So it's going to, now if you haven't sent an email in PHP, this is going to be new for you. See how far I get. So the to, you're going to send the email to their email, subject, and then subject, headers, that's the title of the variable we'll be using for our from address. In the files that I'm going to give you, I've not put this in. I've told you to put in your own email address, and then the body, and it says some text and then gives them a link to the PHP, activate.php. Now you put your link, but then leave this behind it. So that's all I have for this part, and see you in the next one.